All right, so everything was good to go. Let me see if I can. I got my gimbal, so it'll be a little more steady. I'll try to make it a little more steady. It's a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's not a cloud in the sky. Anyway, so since this is my channel, and my channel is all about telling you what I'm thinking about. Child rearing. I've had 5 children, and now I've got a grandchild. But early on in my fatherhood, my parenthood, I was in seminary, and one of my professors was talking about training his dogs. And as I was listening to him talk about training his dogs, I was thinking, that sounds a lot like what I'm doing with my kids. Like, I'm training them, and, reward and punishment. And made a comment to a friend of mine on Facebook, and she responded back, and we've had some pretty good discussions back and forth. But she just bought 2 Dalmatians, and I made a comment about parenting and dog training, and the simplicity of it is in that, why does a dog obey you at all, right? Because it wants to, right? Because the dog wants to. Now, the dog's happiness depends on its relationship to its master, and the decisions that the dog makes gives it a positive or a negative experience. Now, when it's a puppy, you treat the dog, treat, and then you start loving, treating, loving. And by loving, I mean you just give it love. You're just like, you're such a good boy. You just lavish the dog with love. And then you eventually phase out the treats, and you just give them all love. And what that does is that makes the transition from the trigger being treats to the trigger being pleasing my master. Because both the treating of treats and the treating with love give the same effect to the dog. So he's just wanting the effect. So that's what I made a comment. I said, you want to train your dogs so that they want to do what you say, because they like you, they love you, and they also want to feel that love in reciprocity. But the same thing was with kids. You want your children to obey you because they want to, because they want to please you, because they want to have that feeling of acceptance and love on your part too, right? So child rearing and dog training are very, very similar. The other thing that I'll say on this matter, and I'll try to make these as short as possible, is that it was dog training again. Doggone it. Shoot. What was I thinking? Dog training, rewards. Dog training, children. Dog training, children. Yes, coming back, children. Oh, yeah. So, it has to do with yelling, right? If you have a pet owner in a park screaming after his dog, Fluffy, Fluffy, don't jump on don't, Fluffy, get back here. You know, you can either look like an idiot in front of people or look like a god, right? Where you have, instead of spending all of your time and emotional energy chasing the dog and screaming at the dog because you're a poor pet owner, right? You could have taken that time to train the dog. And training the dog, I hope this wind doesn't screw up the microphone. Training the dog, this get personal, takes time, but the payoff is incredible, right? The payoff is incredible. So I didn't train my children so that people would say, wow, you have really well-behaved children. That was just a benefit, right? But I had to work my ass off to have children who behaved in public. So the other thing that doesn't go along with, the other thing that goes along with yelling is that, in my opinion, if you have to yell, you are doing something wrong. Again, I'm a parent of 5 and I was a yeller, okay? If I have to yell, I'm doing something wrong. If I have to spank, I'm doing something wrong. Now, I trained a dog for about 4 months and I loved it. But I also realized that I never spanked the dog for not doing what I said, right? But I spanked my children. And if that's one thing I could go back and change about my parenting ultimately, would be I wouldn't be a spanker. I would figure out another way of establishing. Now, this is where my other point comes in, is that they don't fear the punishment, right? I'm gonna obey you. Dude, you're just not coming to the party, dude, because you're afraid of what your dad is gonna do to you, dude. He said, no. I'm actually not going to the party because I'm afraid of what my going to the party would do to my dad. Like, it would let him down. I would let him down. He would be disappointed in me because he expects better of me. So that's why, because I love my dad. That's why I do what he says. We want to make obeying us as parents so much more desirable for the child so that he doesn't desire anything else. Why would he want anything else than to make you happy? Because then he's happy. Why? Because he made you happy. And that's the whole principle of the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. It would be awesome if every other did what they did for you so that you'd be happy, so that you'd feel safe, so that you would be content, right? It's so profound. Do no harm. What's the opposite of do no harm? Always bless, right? Always bless. Always, as far as it depends on you. Look at that. As far as it depends on you. I wonder if you would rather if I turn this. Can I turn this around while I'm going to turn it around and come back? Or is that, no.